A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Dear students, open your science textbooks and come on page 136. Today, inshallah, we will start a new chapter, Transports in Human. So open your science textbooks and come on page 136. Are you there, students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Today, my topic of discussion is circulatory system, and then we will move towards the structure of the heart. Inshallah, at the end of this lecture, you will be able to explain what is a circulatory system and to understand the structure of the human heart. Before starting our today's lecture, let's know about the scientist. Inshallah, in this week, we were discussing about the Aristotle. Aristotle was a Greek scientist. He was a philosopher. He was born in 384 BC and he was died there in 322 BC in Greece. He get his educations from Platonic Academy, which was established by Plato. Okay, so that's why it is so called Platonic Academy. He was the student of the great scholar named Plato. Aristotle was one of the greatest philosophers who ever lived and the first genuine scientist in the history of the world. Okay, so he is considered to be the genuine scientist or the first genuine scientist, and he was considered to be the greatest philosopher. He was considered to be the greatest philosopher of his time. He made contributions to all fields of philosophy and science. He invented the field of formal logics, and he identified the various scientific disciplines and explored their relationship to each other. He works enormously in the field of science and philosophy, and he gives method to the word. He gives different method to the word, and he describes so many new things there. Okay, so this is all about the Greek scientist Aristotle. Now let's discuss about our today's topic, that is also called a circulatory system. Now, what is a circulatory system? So the circulatory system is responsible for the transportation of materials throughout the entire body, or the transportation of the materials or oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. That is also called a circulatory system. Okay, so in a circulatory system, materials are transported throughout the entire body. Now, what sort of transportation is there? So it transports nutrients. The first thing is nutrient. The second thing is water and oxygen to your billions of body cells, and carried away waste such as carbon dioxide that body cells produce. Now it works in two ways, like it producing or it transporting the nutrients, water and oxygen to your body cells, and it collects the carbon dioxide. Okay, it collects the carbon dioxide from your body and the waste substances. Okay, and it is collected from all cells of your body. Now come toward the page 136 of your book. The book literature is, in human, things are transported around the body in a circulatory system. Okay, the circulatory system is made up of tubes called arteria, vein and capillaries. These are the three different types of tubes: arteria, veins and capillaries. Okay, this is so-called arteria, vein and capillary. Okay, blood is pumped through these blood vessels by the heart. Okay, so arteria is the blood vessel. It collects blood from the heart. Okay, it collects blood from the heart. It is penetrating through the different cells in the form of capillaries, and it collects the carbon dioxide and waste materials from the cells. It is collecting back to the heart. Now the circulatory system is made up of tubes. There are three different types of tube. The first one is arteries. Okay, this is the first one. The second one is vein, and the third one is capillaries. Now, what is the function of arteries? Arteries are responsible for carrying blood away from the heart. Okay, it collects blood from the heart and it carries that blood away from the heart to all parts of the body. Okay, all parts of the body. Okay, so it collects all part of the body. The vein is responsible for collecting blood from the body and back to the heart. Okay, it is responsible for collecting blood from the all cells of the body, and it is carrying blood back to the heart. And the third thing is that is also called capillary. Okay, so what is the function of capillaries? Are exchanging nutrients and oxygen with tissues. It collects carbon dioxide from the tissues or cells and it gives oxygen gas to the cells. Same is the case with it is depositing the nutrients and water to the cell and collecting the waste substances that are produced by the cells. Now come towards the heart in detail. Okay, so the heart is a pump made of muscle. Okay, it's a muscular organ. This is also called a muscular organ. Okay, it is made from muscles. It is about the size of a clenched fist and has the job of pumping blood around the body. Now, what is meant by clenched fist? Anybody of you?
Sir, it is meaning that
Sir,
fingers and thumbs are close together.
yes, sir.
Yes, this is also called a clenched fist. Okay, this is also called a clenched fist. Okay, if you hold or if you squeeze your hand, then that is also called a clenched fist, and your heart is about the size of your clenched fist. Okay, that will about the size of your heart. Now, what is the function of the heart? Is it is pumping blood around the body. The space inside the heart is divided into 4 chambers. Okay, it is divided into how many chambers? 4 different chambers. Okay, it is divided into 4 different chambers. The 2 upper chambers and the 2 lower chambers. Okay, so these are the so-called the 4 chambers. The top 2 are arteria. Arteria is a plural and arterium is a singular. Okay, so the upper 2, these 2 are so-called arteria. And the bottom 2 are called ventricles. These 2 are called ventricle. Walls inside the heart stops blood flowing in the wrong direction. These are the walls. You can see. These are the walls. Different walls are there and which are responsible for flowing the blood in one direction. Okay, they are responsible for flowing the blood in one direction. It will stop the backward flow of the blood. Okay, it will stop the backward flow of the blood. Because it is part of the body, the heart has its own blood supply. This is carried by coronary artery or coronary vein. Okay, so the heart has its own blood supply and they are also called coronary artery and coronary veins. That is also called coronary artery and coronary veins. Okay, now come towards the 4 different chambers of the heart. As I told you, this is the first chamber, second, third, and fourth. The upper 2 are so called the arteria and the lower 2 are so called what? Yes. Who will tell me about that?
Ventricle.
Ventricle. Very nice. The upper 2, these 2 are so called arteria. Okay, they are the upper chambers and these 2 are so called the lower chambers and they are so called ventricles. Now it is divided into 4 different parts. You can see here the left side and the right side, the upper side and the lower side. So the left one and the upper one, that is what so-called right atrium, left atrium. Okay, and the right one is so-called right atrium. Same with the case with the lower two. So the right one is so-called right atrium and the left one is so-called left atrium. Now these are the four different chambers where your heart is divided into. Okay, the upper two chambers are responsible for collecting the blood. Okay, the upper two chambers are responsible for collecting the blood. These chambers are responsible for collecting the blood, and these are responsible for pumping the blood to the body. Or in other words, we can say that these two are responsible for what? These two are responsible for collecting the deoxygenated or carbon dioxide rich blood from the body, and these two are responsible for giving the oxygenated blood to all parts of the body. Now these things are quite clear, beta?
Yes,
सर
sir.
ऊपर वाले आर्ट्रियम क्या करते हैं?
जी
सर ऊपर वाले आर्ट्रियम क्या करते हैं?
ऊपर वाले आर्ट्रियम बेटा वो ब्लड को कलेक्ट करते हैं फ्रॉम बॉडी, नीचे वाले ब्लड देते हैं बॉडी को. क्लियर?
ओके सर.
Now let me ask a question. How many chambers are there in our heart?
4 chambers.
सर 4.
4 chambers. The upper chambers are so called
Right atrium, left atrium.
arteria.
आर्ट्रियम.
Arteria. Collectively they were so called arteria. Okay, collectively they are so called arteria. Now what is the name of the lower two chambers?
Ventricle.
They were so called?
Ventricle.
They are so called ventricles.
Vertical.
Okay. Now these are the walls that are present in your heart. You can see here, these are the walls. Okay, 4 different walls are there in your heart, and these walls are responsible for stopping the blood moving in the wrong direction. Okay, so it will stop the blood moves in the wrong direction. This is what's so called a wall. You can see here, these are the 4 different walls. Okay, so these walls are responsible for the unidirection flow of the blood, or it will stop the blood moving back to the heart. Okay, so these walls are responsible, and when these walls are not been working there, then it is replaced, and that is what so called studs will be installed there in your heart. Okay, so these walls are responsible for the unidirectional flow of the blood. Clear these things, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is the outside of your heart. Okay, the outer object. This is the real heart. You can see. This is the real heart, how it is working over there. Okay, look at here in this picture.
Sir, how it got oxygen?
Yes,
Sir, how it is working?
it is working. It is getting oxygen from the lungs. Okay, it pushing the blood to
Okay,
the
sir.
lungs, and it gives carbon dioxide to the lungs and get oxygen from the lungs and come back to the heart. Clear? So watch this. This is the real pictures of the human heart. Now come towards the inside of the heart. Okay, we will discuss the internal structure of the heart, how it is collecting the blood. Now, dear students, you can see here that the heart is divided into 2 portions. Look at this. Okay, this is divided into 2 portions, the left side and the right side. Clear? You can see here that the left side is quite different from that of the right side, because there is a wall, a muscular wall is there in between the left side and right side of the heart. Now we will start from the top. So this artery, this is what's so called an artery. Okay, this artery, this is responsible for collecting the blood from the heart to the lungs. This artery is carrying blood to the lungs. The deoxygenated blood is moving through this artery to the lungs. Now these are the biggest arteries. These are used to be there for what? This is the valve. Okay, this is a valve that is responsible for the backward flow, or it will stop the backward flow of the blood. So this valve stops blood going back into the heart. this wall. Now come towards this vein. This vein carries blood into the heart from the body. Okay, or this vein is responsible for collecting blood from the body and gives to the heart. So from all the body, the blood is coming through this vein. From all the body, the blood is coming through this vein. Okay, look at here, its walls are quite thinner there. The right atrium has a thin wall. Why it is so? Because to absorb or to accommodate more and more water collecting from the body. Clear? This is a wall. You can see here, this is a wall. This wall strings hold the wall plate in place. Okay. Now, this is what's so called the valve stops blood going back into the right atrium. This is the valve that is responsible for not moving the blood go back to the right atrium. It is depositing here. You can see here that these valves are quite thicker. When these valves are compressed, it will exert a pressure and the blood will rushing out from the heart. The blood will rushing out from the heart to the lungs. It will passing through this and it will moving to the lungs. Okay. It is passing through this and it is moving through the lungs. Okay. This is what's so called the right ventricle has a thick walls. It pumps the blood to the lungs. Okay. It exerting the pressure and the blood will move into the lungs. Now come towards the right side of the heart. This is the artery. This is responsible for collecting the blood from the heart to the body parts, or it is carrying blood to all parts of the body. This is a vein. This vein is responsible for collecting blood from the lungs to the heart, or the blood will comes through this vein or this artery, and it is responsible for collecting blood from lungs, and it will be depositing there to the right ventricle of the heart. The left atrium has a thin wall. Why it is a thin wall? Because it is absorbing or it is accommodating more and more blood there. This is the wall which is responsible for the backward flow, or which is responsible for stopping the backward flow of the blood. Okay, so the wall stops blood going back into the left atrium. This is the left ventricle and it has a thick walls. When these walls are contracts, yes.
Sir, can you remove the marks for a second?
Yes. Okay, so the left ventricle has a very thick walls. It pumps blood to the body except the lungs. Okay, so it pumps
Thanks, sir.
blood to all parts of the body. Now this is what's so called the internal structure of your heart. Okay, who will explain this? Yes. Who is able to explain this diagram? Numan, are you? Yes. Nobody is there?
Yes, sir.
Bilal, are you able to explain this?
Sir, how?
Just like I explained to you.
Oh, yes, sir. I have. सर थोड़ा सा पता है लेकिन फिर भी सर ये नीचे जो राइट साइड पे जो है ये लेफ्ट
साइड ऑफ द हार्ट, यस जी बताएं। जी बिलाल, nobody is there to explain this.
सर आपकी जो राइट तरफ है और सबसे नीचे है वो है लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल।
ओके,
उसके लेफ्ट तरफ जो है वो है राइट वर्टिकल।
ओके ठीक है, अब एक्सप्लेन कर सकते हो बेटा?
यस सर।
जी अब बताओ।
सर इन द first part they are talking about the artery. The artery carries blood to the lungs. There is
Okay.
also a valve in the heart that stops blood going back into the heart in the wrong direction.
Well,
This valve is there to prevent blood from flowing in wrong direction. And the right atrium has thin walls. There are
yes.
valve springs that hold the valve flaps in place so that these valves cannot be damaged. These valves also stop the blood going back into the right atrium.
Okay.
The right ventricle has thick walls. It pumps blood to the lungs.
Good.
And
Good.
here there is another artery that carries blood to the body, not to the lungs. So here
Okay.
there is also a vein that carries blood into the heart from the lungs. The left
Fine.
atrium has thin walls. There is
Okay.
also a valve that stops blood going back into the left atrium.
Very nice.
The the left ventricle has very thick walls. It pumps blood to the body except the lungs because because blood is going to the lungs from the other artery on the other side.
Okay. Alian, you raise your hand. You have a question, beta?
No, sir.
Okay. Now these things are quite clear, beta. If anybody have a confusion, he can ask. Yes. Anybody have a confusion?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everything is clear.
Okay. Watch this video. It will help you a lot.
Heart is the most special muscle we have. It's situated a little to the left from the center of our chest, between our lungs, and is in an oblique position, positioned diagonally. We say that it's very special because it sends blood all over our body. Blood delivers oxygen and nutrients we need to live to all of our cells. Our heart is a type of pump, like the ones we use to inflate the wheels on our bikes. The only thing is that instead of pumping air, it pumps blood. The heart is divided into two parts, the right part and the left part, separated by a cellular wall, so they are not connected internally. Each one of these parts has two chambers or cavities. The upper cavities are called right and left atrium, and the lower cavities are called right and left ventricle. The heart also has four kinds of doors, which are called valves. These valves open to let blood in, and they close so this blood can't go back. Now we've got to know the most important parts of the heart.
Okay, so this is all about the part of the hearts. Okay, I hope so that you got all this valuable information. Now come towards the blood. Okay, so what is a blood? Yes, who will explain? Anybody have an idea about this?
Yes, sir.
Blood is
Blood is the fluid that flows in a circulation, and it's
Sir, blood is a red liquid that flows in
carries
our
out
body.
within our body.
Okay. Blood is the fluid that flows in the circulatory system and that carries substances around the body. What are the substances they are carrying around the body? Yes.
Sir, there are red cells, white cells, and
Yes, sir, cells.
No.
cells and
It
nutrients and
consists of
oxygen.
cells. Yes, I know that it consists of cells. But what sort of substances they are carrying around the body?
Nutrients and oxygen.
Very nice. Yes.
The oxygen and waste material.
It is, yes, it is transporting the oxygen okay, nutrients and what? Yes, water.
And
Oxygen.
carbon dioxide.
Okay, and it is collecting carbon dioxide and waste substances that are produced by the cells. So blood make up around 80%, 8%, sorry, not 80, 8% of your body weight. Okay, so your body weight have 8% of your blood. Now come towards the page 138. Blood is a mixture of a liquid called plasma with red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets floating in it. Okay, it is what? Blood is a mixture of what? Of a liquid. Okay, that liquid is plasma, red blood cell, white blood cell, and platelets. These four things are there in the blood. Okay, so blood is a mixture of a liquid, that is what's so called plasma. That plasma have red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Now blood looks red. Why it is looking red? Why the blood is looking red?
Sir, because there are red blood cells in
Because of the red blood cells, or because of the excess amount of the red blood cells, so the blood is looking red. Because there are many more red blood cells than white cells in it, and there are about 5.5 liter of blood in your body. An average person have 5.5 liters of the blood in your body. Okay. Now look at here in this case, 55% of your blood is plasma. Clear? 45% of your blood is red blood cells, and yes, about 1% of your blood is white blood cell. Okay, so 55% is a plasma. Clear? 45% is a red blood cell. Clear? And 1%.
What about 19%?
What?
Sir, what is in the remaining 19%?
Where is 19%? Where is 19%, beta? 55%
Sir,
is the
55.
plasma, 45% is the red blood cells, and just only 1% is around about only 1% is white blood cells. Clear?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Now what is a plasma? A question is there. What is a plasma? Yes. Anybody of you who will tell me about the plasma? Do you have an idea
Plasma
about
is a Plasma is a liquid. It is mainly water with
Okay, very
substances
good.
dissolved
It is
in it.
mainly water or a straw color water liquid. Yes. Okay, that remains after red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets, okay, are removed. If you remove the red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets are removed from the blood, then you will get a straw color liquid, that is what's so called a plasma. Okay, so you will collect a straw colored liquid, and that liquid is what's so called a plasma. Okay, that liquid is so called a plasma. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So plasma is a straw
सर
color
आपने
liquid.
पिछले वाली तस्वीर में दिखाया था उसमें सर आप एक पिछली वाली तस्वीर दिखा सकते हैं
ये वाला?
यस सर इसमें तो लिखा है 44% ब्लड सेल्स
Okay, 44 to 45% red blood cells are there. It is varying with person to person. Okay, it's not necessary that 45 or 44. Okay, just only 1% difference is there.
Yes, sir.
ओके सर
Okay, so plasma is a straw color liquid. It is mainly water with the substance dissolved in it. Okay, and these includes a digested food from the intestines, carbon dioxide and urea, that is also called a waste from the cells, and hormones from the special glands, okay, located around the body. Okay, so this is the function of the plasma. Okay, Who will explain what is a plasma? Yes.
Sir, may
Yes, you can. G.
plasma is a straw-colored liquid. It is mainly water with digested food from the intestines and substances dissolved in it. Carbon dioxide and urea from the cells, and there are hormones from special glands located around the body.
Very good. Very nice. This is all about our today's lecture. Now we have to solve this test yourself. What is the size of the heart? Come on, we have just 2 minutes.
Sir, may I know, man?
Noman, yes.
Sir, about the size of our fist.
Our clenched fist, okay? It is about the size of our clenched fist. What is the name of the upper two chambers of the heart?
Sir, atrium.
Sir, left
Sir,
atrium.
right atrium and left atrium.
Collectively, they were so-called arteria. Okay, collectively, they were so-called arteria. Arteria is a plural. Okay, what is the role of valve in the heart? Yes, Alian Zarak.
Stops blood. It stops blood flowing in the wrong direction.
Yes, it stops blood flowing in the wrong direction. Yes. Filling the blanks, the circulatory system is made up of tubes called dash, dash, and dash.
Capillaries, veins, and
Arteries.
arteries.
Yes, arteries.
Arteries.
Yes, veins and capillaries. Arteries, veins, and capillaries. Okay.
Have a good day, sir.
So this is all about our today's lecture. Now read the following pages thoroughly. Page 136, 137. Inshallah, in our upcoming lecture, we will discuss the book pages 138 and 139. Now, if you have a question related to the lecture, you can ask, please.
No, sir.
No.
Yes.
Sir.
Anybody have a question?
No, sir.
Sure.